Yeah, today's video is going to be a reaction to Graham Stevens' Millennial Money episode, the new one that just dropped like last month. So I saw the first one like a year or two ago where he was making like 2 million. But I haven't seen this one. So yeah, let's check it out. Let's see what it's about. So if you're new here, subscribe, like, comment, turn on post notifications so you can be notified when I post a new video. All right, let's get to it.
Right here to post a video. If we don't sit right here, we have a bad video. Since 2019, my income.
Okay, first of all, when does he ever have a bad video? Every video he does goes crazy. All right, let me turn up my volume. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Yeah, how about that?
Has almost tripled. YouTube is very much like a snowball effect where all the work you put in starts building up that momentum, which builds more momentum, which builds even more momentum. There have been a lot of changes throughout these last 2 years. I've moved to Las Vegas. I now have 5 YouTube channels.
Bro, what? He has 5 YouTube channels? Okay, I know the Iced Coffee Hour, and then the Graham Stevens Show, and then his regular channel, and then Millennial. I don't know what this channel is. Well, I think I've seen it, but I haven't watched any videos. But yeah, what he said about the YouTube effect, I really hope that happens to me because, I don't know, I'm hoping to get some subscribers someday.
Doubled down on the content I'm putting out.
Smash the like
Things are
button.
busier than ever. My name is Graham Stephan. I'm 31 years old. I make $6.1 million a year in Las Vegas, Nevada. And this is, wait for it, Millennial Money.
That's crazy. 31 making 6 mil. Congrats to him. That's amazing. That boy grinded for it. This music's trash. 2019 was the first year. So he earned 1 million in 2019, and then from there it just went to 6 in like 2 years. That's crazy. His net worth is $15.5 million.
It's really boring.
It's crazy.
It's really exciting. Honestly, 10 hours a day is probably just spent just in front of a computer. So I would say usually I'll wake up anywhere between like 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. And then I
Yeah, no, I can't do that. 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. I'm total opposite. I'm like a late night person. So like I'd rather wake up late and stay up all night grinding instead of waking up early and going to bed early. But that's crazy.
walk 20 feet to my office. I close the door. And usually I don't come out until like 6 p.m. Sometimes 7. But in that office, I'm just trying to think of video ideas. I'm trying to plan out different concepts. For some reason, I have an easier time planning videos on a beanbag than I do on the couch. But I edit on the couch. You can just take this, put it here, lean up.
I actually have the same lights as those. I copied him. I bought them because he uses them, and I think he's a great YouTuber. So that's the light you see back there. Oh, well, I mean, you can't see because it's behind the webcam, but.
And just hand it away. And usually then after about 6 p.m., 6:30, wrapped up and try to take the rest of the day off. So since the first episode, Macy moved in with me, and it's been really nice that like throughout the day, I can take like little breaks and we can hang out, we can kind of see each other. And it's nice just to kind of take myself out of the computer every now and then and just clear my mind and just relax a little bit throughout the day.
His girlfriend looks hella tall. I don't know if he's just short or if his girlfriend's really tall.
I can't believe it's already been like almost 2 years since then.
November 2019. See, that's the one I saw. 1.6 million to 6 million. That's crazy.
Wow. So I grew up in Los Angeles my entire life. It's really all I knew, and when the pandemic hit, it really made me reevaluate where I wanted to be and where I wanted to work. And once I came up to Las Vegas to see a friend, we really got to experience a different side that I'd never seen before.
What side of Las Vegas? The 110-degree weather?
And I really liked it, and I was able to get so much more for the money. I was able to get so much more space. Everything was less expensive, and that allowed me to expand my entire business in ways that just was not as possible in Los Angeles. It was certainly a financial component to moving here as well that would allow me to get a home that is almost 4,000 square feet for half the cost in Los Angeles. It allows me to have people working.
Dude, this guy has multiple YouTube plaques, and like most people just aspire to have one. Jeez, but he works like 10 hours a day grinding, man. I need to be doing that, but I have a job, so I can't. But I will one day.
From the house all day, that we could collaborate with each other, that just wasn't as doable in Los Angeles. And there's certainly the state income tax. I would be saving 13.3% living here, and so that has to.
That's a huge factor. 13.3% when you're making as much as he is, that's a lot of money. So in that regard, that's fair and that makes sense because even if I was to move to Nevada and not having state income tax would make such a huge difference for me, and I don't make anywhere near $6 million.
We factored in that allows me more money left over that I can reinvest elsewhere, and a lot of the money just goes back into the business. This is my set, and I was able to completely duplicate the exact same thing that I had back in LA. So when I'm filming, everything stays the exact same, and there's really no changes.
Why does he have a 4GT in his freaking living room? What?
That are made that ain't broken, don't fix it. It also really helps too that it seems like a lot of the financial guys on YouTube all live in Las Vegas, and it almost seems to play into the whole frugality thing where you are living in an area where your money goes further. And it was something that I've never experienced before because I've always lived in Los Angeles, so that was the norm. So leaving that and being able to experience something new just gave me a much wider perspective of what else was out there. Ramsey wants to help. Ramsey, what do you think? Oh, yeah, he likes that.
I also feel like a large part of... Never mind. I was just going to say, I think it's more so to do that he makes a lot of money, not because he saves so much. Like, he make a lot of money, so... Ooh, the good stuff.
The bank accounts certainly increased, and some of that is just to continually pay taxes as they're due. But the other aspect of it is that
$2 million in a high yield saving account. Can you imagine having $2 million?
I am always on the hunt for a good deal, and I never know where that's going to come. So I prefer to keep some cash on the sidelines, just if I see a good real estate deal come up. If there's a good investment opportunity, I'm always able to jump on that.
He saves about $400,000 a month. If you made $400,000 a year, you would be in the top 1% of the richest country in the world, which is America. Like, what? If you made $400 in a year, this guy saves that. He saves that in a month. I mean, that's really smart. Good for him. Times 12, he's saving about, 4.8 mil. It's a lot. But it's easy to save 4.8 mil when you make 6 mil. Because even if you spend $1 million, which is a ton, you have so much money left over. But also most people who make as much as him don't even save as much as him. So kudos to Graham. Invest 60%. Index funds, baby. Bought a 4-bedroom house for $1.44 million with a 15% down payment. That's the biggest 4-bedroom house I've ever seen. That thing is like a 10-bedroom house, or it's the size of one. $45,000. He spent $45,000 on a 312 10-gallon aquarium. 45 grand. Wow, that's so much money. I didn't even know fish tanks cost that much. The one thing I will say about that is I'm happy that he's finally spending his money, because we all know this man never spends his money. So finally Graham's enjoying his life. He's got a nice house. He's got a nice aquarium. Man, we love to see it.
Every single time I walk by to the kitchen, I'm just sitting here looking at it for 30 minutes. And every single time you see something new. So I still track every week all the money that comes in, all the money that goes out, but there is really no budget at this point that I stick to, because the default is always, I'm gonna save. The default is never spent.
Okay. Oh, this is monthly. So his house, $6,500. Okay, yeah, we know that's a huge house. Subscriptions, $20. What are these subscriptions? Spotify and Amazon Prime. Okay, like probably like $10, $10. Phone, $50. Okay, I think that's about the same for mine. Insurance, 437. Health insurance and car insurance. Damn, that's pretty cheap for both of those combined. Especially because he has expensive cars. How does he only pay $200? Or I'm assuming it's half half. 200 something dollars on freaking his cars. Doesn't he have like 5 cars? Discretionary. What's discretionary? Let's see. Gas, electric, internet. No, that's utilities. Car 632. I'm surprised that he spends 632 on his car payments. I'm happy he does, and I'm happy he has nice cars and he's enjoying his money, but I'm surprised. I thought he'd be like, oh no, $200 is the max. Food 820. I'm actually surprised at that too. That seems like high for him, but I'm wondering if that's for him and Macy combined. Oh, and his team too. He's probably buying them stuff.
112 degrees. Barely feel it. Yeah, it doesn't feel any higher than 95 today.
That's crazy.
The smallest person and definitely like the best seat of the car.
If I do spend money, I mean, it's not enough to ever really move the needle. At the very most, it's going out to all-you-can-eat sushi at like $21 a person, and that's me even like extravagantly spending. There it is, super sushi. I will get the bankroll. From the spending standpoint, there are some changes from about 2 years ago. The biggest change was that back then I would do anything just for the sake of cutting back a little bit more and saving. And at this point, I definitely eased up a little bit. And the biggest thing that I would say that I started spending money on that I never imagined in the past was being able to buy back my time. As an example of that, I would say sometimes delivering food to the house. If that means that I could save an hour and a half, or even I could spend an extra hour and a half with Macy so she doesn't have to cook. Even getting a house cleaner, that was something that I've never done before.
Splits $250 a month with his girlfriend to hire a cleaning person for the house. Yeah, I'd hope so. That house is huge. How are you gonna clean that? If my house was that big, I would never clean it. Like, that's way too much work. You know who always also talks about buying back your time a lot? Ali Abdal, the other YouTuber who I follow really closely. I like his stuff a lot. He always talks about it, and I've been considering that a lot. Like when I'm thinking about like, hey, should I cook and save the money, or should I just get up and make some content? And like the 10 or 15 or $20 that I could spend extra, I feel like the content would be more, or would be worth more in the long term, assuming that my YouTube or my TikTok or whatever ends up becoming successful at some point. So that's how I view it. $130 a month on a pool technician. $820 a month on food. Macy pays $300 for the groceries. That's still pretty cheap.
For sound, it's good. Go. And then, so when we filmed the first episode, I was spending about 20% of my time working as a real estate agent, and then the other 80% of the time, until probably like 2 o'clock in the morning every single night, I'd be making YouTube videos. But when the pandemic hit and we were all just inside.
Bro, he has such like a remarkable grind where he's like working on real estate. Well, I'm wondering if he has so much time working as like a real estate agent. Maybe you have a lot of free time. I don't know much about that because I'm not a real estate agent, but it's really remarkable that he stayed up till like 2 a.m. every day grinding and putting out content because like he just works so hard for it. So it's cool to see him becoming successful. I'm hoping one day that I could, do something with this or do something in content creation, but I got to put in the hours, put in the work, and grind till 2 a.m. like he does. That's the only way it's going to happen.
And that was the point for me where I was like, I want to just go all in on YouTube.
early 2017 he started. He has 4.5 million subscribers total. Wow, amazing. YouTube ads, Teachable, sponsorships, and affiliates.
I think the biggest shift for me over the last 2 years was probably more into financial commentary because it gives me more content to work off of and to add my own thoughts about. Because at the end of the day, there's only so many times I can talk about how to set up a Roth IRA. So in 2020, the YouTube ad revenue made about $2.5 million, and in 2021, we're on track to probably hit about $2.8 to $3 million by the end of the year. Hey guys, want to come to the office?
Insane.
2 years ago, I was pretty much doing everything myself, and it got to a point about a year and a half ago where I had no time. I mean, I was going from probably 6 o'clock in the morning to 8, 9 p.m. at night. As much as I enjoyed it, it was slowly wearing down on me. And the tipping point for me was really when I started to see my own content and my own work decline. That's the point where it started making sense to bring someone else on. Posting time, you know what we need? We need
Posting time.
Bang, 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 that's
Posting time. What was that, Graham?
what we need.
That was funny.
For posting time, bang, bang, it's 3:30. So Jack now we have full time. He edits the videos on the second channel. He runs the podcast with me. We've just recently hired on Alex, who helps edit some of those videos on the podcast. He's doing the vlog. And these are things that just wouldn't be possible on my own. I enjoyed just being like a one-man operation. I took a lot of pride in the fact that, like, you know, look at all these people out there with these huge teams, and look at how much I'm able to accomplish on my own. But
I think it's really admirable too that he was able to create like such a huge, I don't know if he's the biggest, but like he's probably the most famous finance YouTuber, and he's been able to do that largely on his own, just on his grind, like no, you know, team or production, or I mean, just, I don't know, it makes you feel like anybody could do it. Obviously he worked extremely hard for it, but like I think it's encouraging to see that. It encourages me because obviously I don't have like a team or nothing, but I'm like, if he could do it, like what's my excuse? No excuse.
I think at a certain point that was holding me back from continuing to grow. There's only so much work that I could do before just mentally you get burned out, and then at that point work begins to suffer. So there we go. So I just got the notification, so I see it posted. One dislike already. Somebody's there. It's like, get the notification, dislike. Another thing I do out of superstition is that I always click on the video as soon as it posts, and I'll watch it all the way through just to make sure everything is perfect. And as you can see, I always hit my own like button.
That's hilarious that he likes his own videos.
Back then, like 2 or 3 years ago, I was indiscriminate about where I would be spending my time. There you have it, espresso. I would work 2 a.m. I would wake up at 6 a.m. I just wouldn't care. I would just work. It didn't matter where I spent my time as long as I was doing something productive. Now I feel like I work a lot more efficiently, and every hour of my day is allocated to doing something. So I really look at where's my time best spent? How am I able to get the most done during that time? And I've done my best to try to find as much balance as I can between having a life a little bit and working, even though I will say like work is my life in quite a big sense. And I enjoy it, but I've definitely become a lot more efficient and balanced in the process. I certainly think there is that risk of building your entire career on YouTube and potentially being at the whims of an algorithm, but I think to counteract that, we have such a supportive community.
See, the thing about this, a lot of people fear that, but I don't really agree. I think content creation is going to continue to grow, and what's going to happen is like it just may transition to other apps, but it's not going to just disappear. I don't think YouTube's just going to one day vanish. And especially someone like him who saves so much money already, like I find that hard to believe that like I think we haven't even started to begin to see how much content creation is going to grow, especially in video in forms of like YouTube and TikTok, especially TikTok, but even YouTube, I think is going to continue to grow. I don't think these things are going to like disappear. Or what if YouTube goes away? I don't think it's going to. I think it's here to stay, or at least for a long time. I don't think it's going to go anytime soon. And even if it does, like, I think it's just going to change and there'll be something else that'll pop up. And someone like him that has already established a very loyal base is going to be able to just move their platform and be able to continue to have success on that different platform. The only thing, advice that I'd give him, I don't know how much position I'm in to give advice to this guy. He's clearly pretty successful. But I'd say, get on TikTok, man. Like, it's not just a bunch of little kids dancing. I mean, there's power. You can win a lot of people over there. So, I mean, I know he has like his iced coffee hour show on there, but he like should start posting videos too. I mean, it doesn't take long. It takes like 10 seconds and just post it. I mean, he can really just use all the YouTube videos that he's already made and use those ideas. He doesn't even have to create new ideas. So that's one piece of advice that I'd give to Graham, especially as a younger person. Like, TikTok's going to be big, man. It's going to be big. It's already big. It's going to continue to be big. Yeah.
I've tried to diversify a little bit to other platforms, and if something were to happen, I would always have something else to fall back on, and that relieves some of the stress or some of the need to, keep the hamster wheel going and really do this from a place of authenticity in the sense that, like, I really enjoy making content, not so much because it's like, oh, I need to sustain this lifestyle that just disappears if something were to happen to it. I don't know what's so I don't know. I'm just embarrassed. Go. I don't know. There you go.
Does he play piano? It actually sounds like he's good. For a second, it sounded like he can really play. That's surprising. Well, everyone, that's the end of this video. I will be making more videos like this. Let me know what you think. Drop any comments down below. Turn on post notifications. Subscribe, like, comment, everything. Show me or tell me what you guys want to see next or who you want me to do next. All right. See you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.